DreAllDay.com.
Good morning, everybody. Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. It is Sunday morning, daylight saving in some places in the United States. I wish we would get rid of daylight saving, but whatever. I think Florida's trying to get rid of it, so maybe we will soon. It's a beautiful day in Miami. It's about 75. I did a little bit of basketball this morning. When I say did basketball, that means I went to the court with a ball and I was just shooting around by myself. It wasn't a workout. I wasn't playing nobody one-on-one, no pickup, none of that. I like to go when ain't nobody there, so don't nobody bother me. So that's what I did earlier this morning. Now I'm about to get to work, starting with this vlog right here. And as usual, as long as y'all continue to engage, like, share, whatever else, comment on this, and I'll keep it going. Let's get right into comments from yesterday. Somebody asked, could you vlog I keep always almost saying vlog a grocery trip and talk about the benefits I've gotten from being vegan. I've covered that in the diet and nutrition playlist, so you need to go watch that playlist. You want to know anything about the vegan stuff, I also talked about it on my podcast, which is called Work on Your Games every single day. Look that up. As far as vlogging a grocery trip, the reason I do the vlog like this, where I'm just standing here and I can just film it and talk and it's done, is because I'm not carrying the camera around with me all day and then remembering the vlog and then remembering to do Instagram, then Snapchat, and then actually do what the hell I'm doing. It's just too many moving parts. So the only way you're gonna see me in like me moving around the city and doing stuff vlog is if there's an actual person with me following me around. They got the camera and they do all that and they do the editing, all that. Because for me to do all that videoing, and then I got to take each clip and find out what goes where, and I ain't doing all that shit. That's not my strong suit. I could learn to do it. I'd probably be damn good at it, but I don't want to. That's not my area of expertise, and I don't want it to be. I know there's a lot of people out there for whom it is. So when I get that person on my team, then they can do that, and then y'all see vlogs where I'm actually moving around, not just standing here. But I ain't doing no vlogs moving around. Fuck that. It's too much work. My favorite hooper growing up, favorite hooper now. Growing up was Michael Jordan. I mean, first of all, I'm my favorite hooper still to this day and back then. But aside from myself, Michael Jordan is my favorite hooper who's not playing anymore. I like Kobe too. He just recently stopped playing. Favorite player playing now? I mean, I don't really have a favorite player playing now. I don't like anybody like that I would say they're my favorite player. Who I think is the best player? I think LeBron's the best player. I don't think there's any surprises there. My top 5 rappers. All right, I'll answer that. My favorite rapper of all time is 50 Cent. 50's been my favorite rapper for like 20 years now. He's all time my favorite. That's not me saying he's the best, but he's my favorite. And the best rapper I think is Jay-Z. So he's also in my top 5. So we got those two right there. Who else would I put in my top 5? You got to go with Notorious B.I.G. That's 3. And this is in no particular order. 50's my favorite though. He's number 1. Jay-Z, Notorious B.I.G. I gotta think about that. I don't know. I don't even know who else I would put in my top 5. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. You might say somebody like Drake. I mean, because Drake is current. So being that he's doing so much stuff currently, he's just top of mind for a lot of people. So what's that? That's 4 right there. If I'm gonna go with that 4. And man, you gotta say Nas could be another one. I gotta think about that. Tupac. It's too many. I like Fabulous. I like Mobb Deep, Prodigy from Mobb Deep. We'll just go with that for now. I gave you like 7 people. I can't really think of my top 5. Just go with that list right there. But 50's my favorite, just so you know. Thank you for people who've been liking the vlog. Somebody asked me, would I ever consider speaking at a college, like to an athletic team at Binghamton University? Yeah, of course I would speak to a college. Y'all just gotta get the logistics right. The business part got to be right as far as the traveling, as far as the lodging, just the setup of the whole situation, whatever that would be. Honorarium, which is basically paying me, and covering travel, lodging, all of that. Yeah, get that all out the way. I'll speak anywhere. If everything else is set up properly, the business side gotta be set up. Somebody asked me about getting in a physical fight. Well, people keep asking me about getting in fights. Ain't a whole bunch of fight videos on YouTube. A physical fight in basketball in the middle of a game, not in the middle of a game. I mean, there's always been scuffles and stuff like that after the games and shit like that. That's normal. I mean, a lot of y'all youngins coming up on basketball, y'all be on the internet so much, y'all don't be out in real life. Y'all would know this stuff. Y'all on the internet looking for fights. Y'all go in real life and see some. But when I was coming up, wasn't no internet, so we had to go outside. So y'all get to watch it. You know what I mean? But we had to actually live it. So yeah, but that's not a big deal. I mean, I don't see I don't understand the fascination. is a business degree worth it is the question. Well, it depends on what you're trying to get it for. That's a very subjective, is a very broad question. So you got to put some more thought into that question. Put some more thought into it, get some more detail, and then ask me a better question. Thoughts on the degeneration of music. You say he's 17 years old and he's all for the old heads. I guess he means older rappers, like the guys that I mentioned, like 50, Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, guys from the 90s, stuff like that. I don't think music has degenerated. I just think it's evolved. It's just a different sound now. How it was back then is different. Back then it was a lot of East Coast. I mean, you had Dr. Dre and Snoop on the West. They're older guys too. Then you had East Coast. It was all New York, Philly guys who was rapping. Mostly New York for the most part. Then you got the South came up. You got like Texas area. Then you got Atlanta. You even got Florida rappers. Now it's kind of universal. Everybody can get in because you got the internet. It's flattened everything out, so you don't have to be in a physical location. So I don't think music has degenerated. I just think it's evolved. Personally, I mean, I listen to so much stuff that's not music these days. I listen to audiobooks, a lot of personal development stuff, podcasts, things like that. So I don't even be up on all the newer music. So a lot of the newer rappers that have come out, I don't really know about them because I don't pay that much attention to the new stuff. The newest guys that I know of is like, that I actually will listen to, like Future, Drake, if you want to consider Drake new. I'd say somebody like Gucci. He's not actually new. Gucci been out for a minute, but it seems like he's new because he was in jail for 3 years and he came back. But really, I listen to a lot of the older stuff. I listen to some newer stuff, but not like that. I'll sample it and see what's going on, but I ain't really got deep into it because I don't listen to it like I used to. Like when I was growing up, when I was 17, I'm listening to a Jay-Z album 6 times in one day, a 50 album, a Nas. That's all I was listening to. There's no personal development, no audio books. It was none of that. So all my time, I'm listening to that stuff over and over and over again. So I could recite that stuff off the top of my head even to this day just because it was conditioned into my mind. I don't listen to music that way anymore. So to answer your question, I don't think music is degenerating at all. My favorite hood movies. I'm not into movies. People ask about me. I went and saw Black Panther. I didn't even really like it. I fell asleep during Black Panther. I'm not into the comic book type stuff or that sci-fi stuff where it's like you get into a car and then you hit a button and then you went from Philadelphia to Africa. I'm not into that shit. I'm into something that's more based on real life stuff that we can actually do. I don't mind. I respect the people who got the imagination to make something like that. The movie's obviously doing great. I think it's about to hit $1 billion. The movie, a lot of people who've seen it love it, and I think black people love it because it's like, I guess it's supposed to be some like black power movie. It's supposed to be empowering for black people. I didn't get that out of the movie, but if people who did, shout out to the people who did. Shout out to the people who made it and acted in it because it's doing very well. So shout out to them for their success. But personally, as art, movies are art. I didn't like it, and that's my opinion. Someone asked my top 5 female musicians or singers. I'll have to think hard about that. I don't really have a top 5, but if I just thought of some people I like, Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, I like Nicki Minaj. I don't know if I'll put her in my top 5 though. Not that she's not good. I like some of her stuff, but these other people I'm mentioning have been around longer. I like Foxy Brown, was another older rapper. She ain't really out like that no more. I would say those 3. Those are the top 3 I would name. Beyonce, Mary J., Foxy Brown. Lauryn Hill is another one. And if I think of another one, I'll tell you, but I might not. All right, so those are all the questions. As far as what I'm getting into today, I was getting into work and creating, man. That's what my main thing is these days. It's just creating. I got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out soon that has not come out yet, just because I got to focus on doing the creation part, which ain't really nothing to share about. It's nothing to put out, nothing to show anybody, because I got to create it, whether that's recording, writing, audio recording. So I'm spending a lot of time this year. That's all I've been doing. It's a whole lot of recording. Got a lot of stuff that's going to come out, but can't come out yet because I still got to finish putting it together, and then we got to set up the logistics of it, the launches of it, and all that stuff. So it's coming soon. Stay tuned. Follow me on IG. My IG story is where you get the most up-to-date, by-the-minute stuff from me, and my Snapchat. There's the same stuff on IG and Snap, whichever one. At Dre Baldwin is my name on both platforms. We're just going to get to work today, get to create, and that's that. So everybody have a great Sunday. Hope you're having a great weekend. Let's get to it. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.